Quick question. Which African country was never colonized? You're thinking Ethiopia, right? Yes, mostly. But the real story is way better than a trivia answer. Let me show you. People say Africa was all colonized. Myth. Ethiopia stood tall. Not by luck. By strategy, unity, and a game-changing victory the world could not ignore. Here's the hook. In 1896, a mountain town called Adwa flipped the script on an empire. Italy marched in with modern guns, maps, and confidence. Ethiopia answered with something stronger: leadership, logistics, and a fierce belief that their home was not for sale. A treaty with Italy, Vucale, had two versions. In Italian it basically made Ethiopia a protectorate. In Amharic, it didn't. Emperor Menelik II read both, did the math, and said, no. That no changed history. Ethiopia mobilized, not a small royal guard, an entire nation. Amhara, Tigray, Oromo, Guraj, Somali, Afar, Empress Taitu Betul, a powerhouse in her own right, led troops and strategy. Ras Alula, Ras Makanan, and more commanders moved like chess masters across the highlands. They knew their terrain. They timed their marches with food and water. They bought rifles from abroad and repaired them at home. They carried shields and spirits. And on March 2, 1896, at Adwa, they met Italy head-on. The battle wasn't even close. Ethiopia encircled, overwhelmed, and shattered a European army. Thousands surrendered. The world watched an African nation beat a colonial power on the battlefield. It was a global headline and a continental turning point. And here's the myth bust. People say Ethiopia was never colonized. It's true they kept sovereignty after Adwa, but Italy came back in 1935 with planes, poison gas, and a brutal occupation that lasted about 5 years. That's not colonization in the classic decades-long sense. No permanent settler state, no lasting administration that stuck, but it was real, violent, and painful. Ethiopians resisted, fought in the hills, and by 1941, with help from allies, they kicked the occupiers out and restored their empire. So, yes, never colonized as a stable colony, briefly occupied, never subdued. Why did Ethiopia succeed where others fell? Geography, highlands that swallow armies. Politics, leaders who could mobilize hundreds of thousands. Diplomacy, playing global rivals, Russia, France, Britain, to get arms and recognition. Culture, a deep identity, ancient church, Ge'ez script, their own calendar, their own time. Adwa turned into a symbol, for black people in the Americas, for anti-colonial movements in Africa and Asia. Ethiopia wasn't just a country, it was proof. Proof that empire wasn't destiny. And Ethiopian pride, it's everywhere. In coffee, yep, the world's favorite energy drink started here. In rock-hewn churches older than most nations. In music, in food, in that unmistakable sense of we belong to ourselves. If you ever hear Africa had no winds, say one word: Adwa. Say Menelik, say Taitu. Say a nation that read the fine print, united its people, climbed the mountains and sent an empire home. This isn't just history, it's a reminder. When identity is strong and strategy is smart, even the biggest giants can be brought to their knees. So, no. Ethiopia wasn't colonized. It was tested. It bled. And it stood. If you learned something, hit follow, because the stories you were told aren't always the whole story. And this one? This one is worth remembering every March 2, Adwa Day.